his eye. Nuts and bolts in the late night sky. Tinker's paradise built in the shed. Grease Monkey keeps the gears in his head.
Hey guys, Grease Monkey 34 here, coming to work on the Lawnmower project, part 3. So, working on the 4x4 off-road lawnmower project again. So what we're doing this time, we're going to be working on the steerin, getting this set up. Going to hook it up in here and run it up. So, I'm going to take this apart. We can just undo this and undo these 4 bolts and then pull this arm out because I need a pivot in there. So you do that and then mark up the location for the mounts and make a couple brackets to mount it down in here. Okay guys, just took it apart. I got the outer tube off. It just got like a pin holding it in. There's actually a shaft running through the center, it's hollow. And that reads to like a horn. I got a rod back in the day. But I'm not going to be using that, so I took it out. But yeah, I got this end cap off. I got to take out the bearing and clean it. It's still, the rollers are still looking pretty good when I took it out. I got to clean it all and then grease it and then put it back together. And put a new seal up in here and polish this nice. Okay, I got it jammed up in there right now. But the rod is not going where it's supposed to go. The rod, I'm going to be cutting the rod like somewhere here. And then we're putting a U-joint up more over the drive shaft when it comes down here, so it'll clear. They're going to go up there into the cab more like. So, yeah. I got it mostly centered in there too. So, what I'll have to do is make a bracket to weld on here and here. And it'll bolt, 3 bolts will bolt it in. Okay, to mount the stand box up in there, I made this little diagram out of cardboard. It's a nice piece of 1/2-inch steel plate. Okay guys, got it fully welded in. Some professional welds up in there. So yeah, got it welded on both sides. Nice good anchor point. So now that ties those together, and now we can put the stand box in once I get some I go get some grease for it, and go from there. Okay guys. So I got a U-joint on here. I cut the shaft to the right length, and I need to put a bushing in here still. But yeah, I mean not a bushing, a steel. But yeah, I got the U-joint. It'll go on there. I just gotta make a little keyway. And how I'm gonna do that? Just say weld a little bit on the shaft, just a little like I don't know, a 1 inch. No, not even that, like a 1/2 inch. And then grind it into the shape of a keyway on the shaft so it'll fit on there nice. And then on this side I'm gonna make this fit into the 3/4 inch hole and then weld it solid, something like that. This square, I think it's like 3/4. No, this is 3/4, or it could be 7/8. But yeah, this fits inside this nice. I don't know if I can show you guys. But yeah, it fits in there nice and tight. Not tight, but I want to put some grease. But it'll slide in and out. So, yeah. I'll take that, weld that onto there, and then take this piece and weld it the same on that end, like somewhere up in here. And then this will attach to the steering wheel, and that'll be attached to a bushing. The steering wheel is going to be attached to a bushing or a bearing. Okay guys, just got the gearbox back together. I replaced all the seals. I made a cap on this end. Okay, I don't need the horn hole coming through no more. Just to make it more waterproof, and then I took this all apart, greased it, and I put a little bit of oil on it and diesel oil, it's thicker. And inside here I put 2 rubber seals, and then I put grease on top of that to make it slip easy. So that should be all waterproof. So yeah, the whole thing should be waterproof now. And I don't know if you can key, come on, camera, focus. I welded a little bit of a weld on there, and then I took the grinder and I made like a keyway. And now this will slide right onto there. And I tighten it down, and then there you go. Okay guys, got it bolted in. So now it's attached to the axle. So now I can work on the steering going up to the steering wheel. Okay guys, working on the steering. So I got this piece of pipe that fit these collars like from a bicycle steering. So I got this piece of pipe from a bicycle as well to fit it with the bearings, and I greased them. I got it through the back side. I gotta knock off the weld, but yeah, it's solid on there. This is a 1/8 inch steel plate, so they're gonna be good and solid. But yeah, so I gotta put this into there, and then I gotta put a piece of pipe through this. It's 3/4, so that'll fit the steering, and I'll run that through, and then the steering wheel can be up here. And on the bottom side, I don't know if you can see, but we're going to be having this, if it's not on the steering bar. There we go. Have it somewhere about right there. I want it. Okay guys, just got done making this. So this shaft is tapered on this side. Slight taper, and I got a keyway, I welded some weld on there first and then grinded away to make it look like a keyway. And then I took this is like heavy duty wall pipe. And I took a 1/2 inch die, and I made some threads on the inside and put a 1/2 inch bolt. So that will attach the steering wheel. So that'll be mint. But the keyway there, you can't slide it through here. So it gotta go down, and it gotta go back up. So, and on the other end, I welded some weld into the pipe to make it thicker, and then I carved out a 1/8 inch keyway. So I can remove this little keyway anytime, and then this part will slide onto there. So I can take it apart easy. So yeah. Okay guys, I got the steering in. I still gotta put the lock collars, put a lock collar here so it doesn't slide up and down. Same with down here. But yeah, it all attached. I tightened down the screws, and I tightened down the bolt up here. So it's nice and solid. And it turns so nice. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hop up on it and try and make it tilt, and try to jump up and down on it and see where the steering goes. The left and right, it just pivots. That's what the U-joints are good for. And going up and down, it goes in and out. Nice. Okay guys, got the steering rod on. Or not on, but made. So I put new redid inside. Got a new grease nipple on it as well. So that ready to go on that side. And this side I altered a little bit, because this is a 1 ton or a 3/4 ton joint to go on to here. So yeah, I grind down the edges a little bit so it doesn't hit on the tire, and it sinks in a little bit more because I grinded just a little bit for that taper there. so it sinks into the bar, because the tire is rubbing on it a little tiny bit when you turn very, very sharp. And this end is in mint condition to fit onto here. So that's bolted up. Okay guys, got the steering arm in, or the steering rod. Nice and solid. I greased everything. So let's see how it steers. Now 3 turns that way. And 3 turns that way. Okay guys, as you can see, I got the rear fender cut. All cut perfect, and I bent the corners in a bit. So there's something to bolt to on the front. And on the back here I made a bar. Just a simple bar, not welded on yet. I gotta weld it, but nice round edges. Just gotta figure out where I want it, and then this will sit on here, and then I'll just put a bolt or 2 bolts on each side, and then yeah, it'll fit in this groove. I want it to fit in this groove, so. Okay, got the rear fender bolted in. Got it bolted in under here. Go on, focus. Bolted into there, and then I bolted it in here, so nice and solid. My brother just came out. He hopped on the back. I hopped up on here with my toolbox, and with 2 people, the leaf spring on the back just go straight. Just barely go straight. So there's so much more potential for more weight on the back. But I think it'll be perfect for 2 people on there to go driving around. That's a crew, that'll be about 400 pounds of capability. Without the wrecker on the back for now. Okay guys, got the trans axle up on the vise. I took off the 1 axle tube, and I took the case cover off. This is the 1 cover. This is a Peerless 2300, I think. I do believe it is. So this is the guy we need to get to right here. So we gotta get him out, open him up, and lock him. So let's get into it. Hey guys, Grease Monkey 34 here, coming to you a video how to lock your Peerless 2300 series transmission for your garden tractor. So I already skipped a couple steps, is drain the oil, which I still gotta do. It's looking pretty raw in there. So I took the case cover off. It does have these 1/4-inch bolts and then some 1/2-inch bolts to hold the axle tube in. That goes here. So already took that off. It just slides off. So now we gotta pull the axle straight up out of there, and we want inside there. We gotta get inside, so let's do it. Okay guys, to make it even easier, I took out these bolts already. I took out this side of the case. I'm sliding this piece all the way up, and I'm leaving actually less in there, and I'll just weld the spider gears in the area where it is now, so it's even easier. Okay guys, when you got all the bolts out, this will just lift up. So like that, and now it leaves the nice spider gears. So I get the welding it up. Okay guys, I just pulled it out. This is the piece we're going to be welding up. We don't have to touch that gear. We don't have to cut that gear on the shaft. So, and we can't weld onto the case because it's all cast. So, this is the only part we can weld up is the spider gears to the shaft. But to do that, we have to put it back in. I did clean everything. So we gotta put this back in, and then put the other piece back on top. Make sure it all lined up. Then take it off, and then we can weld it up. Okay guys, now you welded it, not just tacked it in there, we can slide it out and fully weld around the pin and the spider gears. Okay guys, after you weld it up, it'll look something like this. Got a bead on both sides. So now this fits right in here. Perfect. It'll sink down a little bit on the edges. They're not flush. It'll sink down. So that means it's nice in there. This is the only true way I know to weld spider gears in this differential, other than putting a solid axle through. If you put a solid axle through, then all you really have to do is just weld the spider gears on the inside here to the case and to everything mostly. So I get the shaft, bring it over, set it up on, and there we go. Make sure she flush around the edge, this edge here. There. So now she welded up. Now we can just put the bolts back in, and it should be locked. Okay guys, now you slid the case back down after you got those bolts tightened. Use some silicone. You don't need to use silicone. You can use a gacket material if you had one that big. But most people don't, so silicone it is. And yeah, we're going to tighten it down. And slide the other piece on here, the tube. And yeah, now you got a locked differential. How you can tell it locked when you spin this. I don't know if you can see that, but the axle is going forward, and on this side the axle is going forward, and you can't spin it super freely. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay guys, got the axle tube back in, got it all siliconed up. And I got the shifter linkage in place and all 4 gears and reverse. Make sure that works before you tighten down the outer case. You might have to align something, but yeah. So now I'm going to put that brackets on and then put it back in the machine. Okay guys, got the transmission back in. Should all bolted back up. So yeah, I'm keeping the axle tubes on right now, because I got an upcoming car show going to, so I'm gonna keep them up on there now. But I gotta make the drive shafts from there to there, but not yet. But first I wanna hook up the power unit. Mostly they gotta go from that input, a jack shaft from that all the way out to here. Yeah, jack shaft up to about here, and then a pulley so the engine can hook up to it, and it'll be easy to adjust. Like, okay guys, got this piece cut out off that old pulley, so that fits. I can barely see it, but yeah, it fits right up in there, slides in nice. So we're gonna take this, and I got this long piece of 1 inch. We're going to cut it at 27 inches, balance it with this, and then weld it up on the end. Okay guys, just got done making the shaft, so it all welded up. So it already got the keyway in it. Just gotta slide it on, and then on this side we gotta put a bearing mount to support it. I've been thinking for the bearing mount, I got this big coupler, and these 1 inch bearings fit inside of it. So if we put 2 of them, 1 on each side, then take this clampable coupler and weld half of it somewhere like about there, off the front here. Then it'd be a nice support, I think. Or mounted somewhere like here, just under the engine, and then wherever the pulley is going to be, it go easy changeable. Oh yeah, I think that would be. Okay guys, just working on the engine plate. I got one cut out. It's nice and wide, it'll fit in there nice. So I'm thinking like somewhere around like there it'll be welded in, and then the shaft will be on this side, and then the pull start will be on that side. So yeah, something on there, and then okay guys, just got the engine in there in place, so it fits in there pretty nice. A lot of room for the pulleys and any accessories I want to put, like alternator or anything. So yeah, so now I got it all lined up with the engine plate. The engine is lined up on the engine plate where it's not going to rub on the hood when it closes, especially on this side where the airbox and exhaust is. The muffler I don't really care because that's going to be changing, but the air filter is going to be staying the same. So yeah, so I'm gonna already scrubbed off the edges. I'm gonna start welding this plate to the frame. Okay guys, I did get it welded on all four corners. So now I'm just drilling some holes. You can do two different methods I found nice is the paint method. You can take some spray paint, and when the engine is up here, take the nozzle and spray it inside those holes, just a slight little spray. You know, you can get your baseline. And more professional method is a piece of cardboard. Put it on the bottom of your engine. Just hold it on the bottom of your engine, and then take a small like little mallet with the ball peen end, I guess, and hit it around like where the holes are, and it'll actually cut the holes out for you on the cardboard, because that metal on the bottom of the engine is pretty sharp. Did gently, but yeah, how you get your diagram mostly. Okay guys, got the fuel tank in, brand new, never been used, because I took it off because I didn't use it because of the other tank on the machine, on the tractor project. But yeah, it's on there. I tuck the wire up there for now. I'll hook it up later. And I did put the shaft in, and I figured I want to just put it in for now. It does have a wobble to it. I want to take it out and fix it, but I was looking at this a little bit more, and this the steering shaft and the drive, I don't know what they call it. I guess it's a drive shaft from the engine, but it's gonna be too close to the. It's only about like 3/4 inch. That's really not the issue, but the issue is the pulley is going to be from up there. So if you go straight down, it's going to be like somewhere right here. And if you have like a 3 or 4 inch pulley, when this goes up and down, it might hit the pulley, the steering. As you can see here. So if you got like a 4 to 3 inch pulley like here, it's gonna be really close to this. So if it goes up and down too much or flex, it might hit. So yeah, ideas I'm thinking of, cut this off again, put a sprocket on here, and then a sprocket, move the jack shaft to a bearing over here, so it'll weigh about 2 to 3 inches. It brings it away from the steering, so it's more on this side,